G'day team, we're talking knee pain today, and whether you've had it for 6 months or 6 weeks or just come on, it's going to be one of those things that will no doubt be pissing you off. If you're at your very best fitness and your chassis is struggling to keep up with your engine, so you've done a lot of running or other sport that you're feeling amazing, but your knees, whether it's some patellofemoral tracking or other things, are really starting to play up, it's not uncommon. Or if you've upped the load in any capacity, whether it's volume, intensity, you've changed terrain, you might have changed footwear. There's all different variants and there's all different reasons. But what I'm here to tell you is you can get back on top of it. You don't have to go extreme and all in and live in the gym 5 hours a week. This little next 8 to 10 minute block, focus on some of these things or all of them regularly. So that real marginal gain stuff, you can do this every day. And those real little blocks of work, those 0.1% every day, is far more beneficial than trying to do an hour in the gym and then not doing anything for a week. So basically, I'm going to try to tick off all the boxes so you don't have to guess. So this should cover it all. And to be honest, it's good. It's going to be good for you anyway. But number one rule, I guess, then is not trying to overload stimuli. So when you're in the gym, you really want to avoid things that hurt. So if you're squatting and you're squatting too deep, and that's going to hurt, lunges would probably be a no-go. Depends on the type of knee injury, but I'm guessing with inflammation that you're going to have some struggle doing that flexion. So a lunge will be a no-go. So squats and lunges, you might have to really keep low range. Running, if you can run without too much pain or it doesn't get extensively worse, then of course you can run, just back off the days and get off legs. So you might want to do some interval work on a elliptical, a bike, or rower, or a swimming pool, of course. Amazing. So there's your conditioning side of it. So then your strength side of it is going to come from this little block here. So these little things here, we're going to help you with strength, mobility, and as we always try to do, just symptom treating. So we're going to start with a bit of release. You got a roller or whatever you've got here. With the knee, it usually comes from a weakness through this VMO, knee pain, weakness through the VMO and medial quad, weakness through the lateral glute, the glute med, okay? Usually a bit of weakness through the glutes as well, and sometimes overloading through this quad. So you'll be pulling on that knee every step. Now that's fine if you're not overloading, but as soon as you start to overload with volume, so whether you're trying to go extra volume, extra intensity, both, you've just changed sports, whatever it is, you've changed stuff around, or you've just mixed up variants, geez, I'm getting fit, might have lost 8 kilos, then you try to really up it up. If this is great, then more must be better. So it's always different things. So again, just a bit of routine and starting with a bit of release. So the way we do this is you put the foam roller under what we call our iliotibial band, or a bit of fascia that runs from the hip, and we just see my bum is up here off the ground. So the only thing on the roller is the lateral part of my quad here, and then we get a better look at it there. So I'm going right really down the lower quad, but it's all down the side, the lateral side. So this is part of a routine that it's typical stuff with all these healing videos, healing and mobility videos, but definitely heal my body and heal my mind. It's only when you don't do it that you realize how much you need it. And that's why it's so crucial. Seems so simple, the stuff I talk about in this stuff, but it's the mix and the combination of all of it. So foam roller, lateral side, you can come right up to the top of your hip, and then you can go to the other side. All right, really important stuff. But again, it's not going to be just one of these things today. You might find that 4 or 5 of them help. That's great. So the lateral quad. Now, of course, you can use the roller on everything. You can use them on the quads. You can use them on the hamstrings. But usually for knee pain, the lateral ITB is a big part of it. Okay, the iliotibial band, it'll either be pulling on the patella, it'll be inflamed itself, it'll be overused, it'll be tight in that band. So the combination of releasing this ITB, some of the mobility we're about to do, some of the strength we're about to do, these combinations are going to really help. Okay, so it's not just one thing, but you do like this video 4 or 5 times throughout the week, or pick a few movements to do at work, or at lunchtime, or when you first wake up, or before sport, and you'll be golden. So that's the ITB there. I've given that a bit of a go on the foam roller. Okay, important stuff there. There's also a massage gun you can buy from any joint, Rebel or any sports store. You can really get into that. Okay, that just turns on ITB and quads. Okay, don't go too close to the knee. Again, the old rule of thumb, if it's hurting, just stop. Okay, pretty much anything, any rehab work, if it hurts the inflamed area, don't do it. So quads and ITB there, again, that's the release work there. Okay, with mobility for the knee, it's really just trying to work out what works for you. Usually it's back and hip stiffness as a general rule. So any mobility through the back and hips. Okay, so a pigeon, again, thinking about stuff that doesn't hurt. If a pigeon comes right out, we're going to get chest out, shoulders back. Okay, chest out, shoulders back, and get our leg right, our chest right over our shin. Just holding this for a little bit. Chest right over our shin, really pushing down through our outside hip here. A couple of deep breaths in this position. And swap it over, team. So again, pigeon, just trying to release the hip, bit of mobility. Now this is not going to be easy at the start, and it's certainly not going to be instantaneous pain relief, but it's these reps that will really help. They'll compound, and again, marginal gains, they add up massively, better than doing one physio or one gym session once a month or once a week. So that's a pigeon where we're at right angle, and we just get our chest right over our shin there. Awesome. Another one, we really want to work out in the hip flex. So push through the hip flexor here, try to free up a bit of this hip. And at the same time, going to put if our left foot's out, our left hand's going to go next to our foot, and we're going to open right up. So we're trying to open up through our hips. Again, you might say, hey, but Rick, what are you talking about? Well, it's my knee that's hurting. It's all this combined, okay? The release work, this mobility work, and then a bit of the strength work I'm going to take you through in a minute. So if we swap sides over, a hip flexor stretch to start with. Okay, I put my right hand next to my grounded right foot, and I'm coming up and really opening up through my upper back, my ribs, and my hip flexor and groin. Okay, those moves are crucial for this kind of stuff. Absolutely crucial. If I get onto my back, and again, I'm going to open up, and you might think, well, hang on a minute, what do you mean? Again, on my back, I'm trying to work on my knee, but this tightness through the hips is going to really help you. So if I have a one leg over stretch, pull my knee over, look towards my opposite shoulder. This hip release is important because this is the stuff that under fatigue, 60, 90 minutes, if you're not mobile through here, you'll be starting to go back to bad habits and really start to compromise yourself and really consolidate for other areas, which is not what we want. Okay, and that's when you're usually going to load up your quads, load up the knee joint, swap it over. So any kind of patellofemoral tracking, patellar inflammation, kneecap inflammation, general knee pain, ligament inflammation, this stuff's gold, and I haven't even touched on the knee yet. Okay, last minute mobility in this position, just hug the back and relax, and then we're going to get into a bit of a quad, and we are done for mobility. So this kind of stuff, if you get a 10-15 minute routine, it is golden. Not only is it great for your knee and it'll get your back moving and running pain free, but it's going to really improve every other aspect of your movement patterns for a long time to come. So standing up for me, last bit of mobility, basic quad stretch, but I want one arm extended up and really stretch over if you can. So if you see me from side on here, I'll go from this side, extend and really stretch over. So quad is getting that quad stretch there. Again, this is repeat efforts. It's not a 10 to 12 minute segment to fix you, but it will make you so much better. If you can't balance, just hold a wall, swap it over. Balance, quad, strong. And again, extend, do what you can do, strong. So this is probably the first time out of all these movements that we're actually getting towards the muscle that we really want to try to lengthen. Let's go 2 on this side because it is an important one. This and the release work down the ITB is crucial. Right, so this little bit of mobility, but the hips are important too. So I wanted to include those. Swap it over. The happy hips are going to really help you when you're out there. Okay, with running especially, or changing direction or landing, Yes, it's a huge amount of force, okay, and a huge amount of watts, but it's really important that you do it. You want to be able to run and move to your 90, to your 100. This stuff is gold. It's great for proprioception, great for balance, great for nervous system. It's important that we do it forever. You'll be able to play with your grandkids and great grandkids and run up and down stairs just by doing this stuff. And in the short term, we'll be able to get you pain free in that knee so you can do the stuff you love doing. All right, so that's just basic mobility. Very, very easy stuff. Obviously, I've got lots of heal me videos. The hips and the back stuff's important if you want to incorporate it in. But this is purely for the knee. Okay, if you've got a mini band, I want you to start to use it over the next couple of movement patterns. If you haven't, don't need it. Okay, you don't need the weight to activate, certainly, and you don't need load. But this is just going to add a little bit of tension on. Okay, so bum goes right back. So we put all our weight through the hips. Okay, and I want you to physically hold the side of the bum cheeks, the lateral glute med, your major stabilizer of the hip. So when you get fatigued, it's going to, the more you can fire this, 16, 32, 100 times in the next month, then it's going to be really regulate and fire and activate with more automaticity out there when you're moving. Okay, so get good resistance on the band, good separation here. Just take a couple little steps. And really get that feedback from your fingers to the glute med, the top of your bum cheek there, top of your outside of your bum cheek there. So 45 seconds to a minute of just lateral crab walks, just like this. Just firing. Good. Good. So you go 45 to a minute of that. Keep the band on and keep the band even wider now. I really want you to hold that same position of the glute med, and I just want tiny little squats. You can see I'm only going down 40 degrees. So I've got no, absolutely no tension through my knee or no flexion, really. So this shouldn't, unless you're absolutely inflamed as buggery, this shouldn't hurt the knees too much. Tiny bit, it's okay. But really trying to get these glutes firing, more specifically the glute medialis there. Good. That's mini band, strong, awesome. Two more. So 45 seconds to a minute of each of these things. Then you'll drop the band off. You'll hold a wall because I don't want balance. I don't want you to have to balance on this one. You'll go single leg again and a really tiny little squat. Again, minimal range, but I really want you to now have your fingers on this VMO, this medial part of your quad. Okay, what we call the teardrop muscle there, that is crucial for this kind of stuff. We need to get that firing because every time you land 180 steps a minute, this has to fire. So it's going to take some doing, but just fire and wire. So 10 to 15 reps on this side. You can see how shallow I'm going though, like 30, 40 degrees. And then on this side again, I'll hold this side, strong, really push up. Awesome. This part of the medial quad, again, I'm looking for instantaneous feedback through this medial quad here. Good. No pressure through the knee. Good. VMO, good stuff. Same deal, you're going to be on one leg, and I just want you holding, you can see I'm balancing, holding this for a little hold and come up. So like you're putting your foot on the accelerator, down, look, I'm literally 5 degrees in flexion, but I'm holding like I'm putting this foot on the accelerator and come up, down, and again, try to strengthen medially, strengthen laterally, no pain through the knee, up, good, down, flex through the knee, flex, flex, flex. Good. Swap it over. Same deal. Down. Again, get 6 to 8 of these in. Drop. Like I've got my foot on the brake down in my car. And I'm just, my whole thing is around this teardrop muscle. And up, down. But I don't want any balance, okay? A lot of our stuff I do in S&C has got balance related. This is rehab, and especially knees. Up. I don't want you having a balance. I want you trying to focus on the nervous system connection between the brain and the firing of these muscles. They do it over and over and over again, then it'll be subtle, but in 3 months you go, oh, I haven't felt that knee pain in a while. Oh, I'm walking downstairs a lot more pain-free. Yeah, bloody oath, that's awesome. That's it for the teardrop stuff, okay? Now, what I want, the last bit of stuff for the major quad is just a bit of some leg extension standing. You can see I got my hand behind the wall, extend and out, but nothing painful. Just 5 or 6 leg extensions, no balance required. Hand again, up, leg extension. Good. Good. Real big combination, this. Awesome work. Awesome. So, but again, basic extension, no weight. And relax. Draw down to your backside for me, team. Really important stuff. So lie down flat on your back. We're going to go get the band back for a couple of glutes, and then finally just a bit of cross-section core work, which is crucial. So get the band right out, so there's tension on the band and tension on your butt cheeks. Your feet are fine around, the band's fine around the ankles. You're going to come up and hold and flex the butt cheeks together for 3, 2, and 1, and control. And all this is doing is teaching the brain to fire the butt up and the gluteals. So when you're out there, you don't have to be thinking about all these movements all the time. 8 to 10 of these, up. Good work. And after you do 8 to 10, you get one leg elevated slightly and come up again for 5 or 6 on each leg. But when you're doing this, team, I want you really driving through the heel. Okay, so I want you to really avoid any knee flexion or quad flexion. Good. And swap it over again, up through the glute, up through the heel. Good. So single leg hip thrust here. This stuff's going to bulletproof you, I promise. Drop the band off. What we call dead bugs. And you might say, hang on a minute, what has this got to do with anything? This core firing is everything. If it's too advanced, I'll show you a progression. But what I want is right arm, left leg out, and lock everything else up around this cross-sectional pattern. And then left arm, right leg. Good. Now, if that's too hard, I want you to just bring up a left knee and put the right arm out. Bring up a right knee and put the left arm out. But otherwise, do a traditional dead bug, right arm, left leg, and work towards this. You're not expected to get it straight away, but I want you to really be strong through the lower tummy here, pelvic floor, where you go for a wee and stop halfway. Draw through this tummy. The dead bugs are crucial, so important. Okay, you might do 20 seconds to 30 seconds, have a rest, and then do a couple of sets. And then you can just do the whole thing again. Now, all those things are a combination of things, clearly, and it's not for a one knee injury or one knee inflammation flare up, but it is for many and varying overuse, knee inflammation, tendon ligament inflammation, patella, ITB and patella tracking, all these injuries that from a pain rating can be a 10 out of 10. So it's really important that I help you to get these reps in where you don't have to force it. You don't have to think, oh, if I do this, then it's fixed. No, you got to change your mentality just to be able to do this regularly. Even if you do this regularly with a little bit of your other conditioning, you'll find a huge, huge benefit. So do less of what's inflaming it. Whether it's running, you can run. If you normally run 4 times a week, run 2. Okay. If stuff like climbing stairs is really inflaming it, try to avoid for the time being. And then you can start to throw this in. But I really can't tell you enough. This is not a quick fix, but you do this for 20 or 30 times, you'll be absolutely rolling. Huge, huge, huge love to you all. I know you're all going to smash it. Write in the comments if this has helped you, because I know that it will. And maybe a few photos and some stuff of how you're going upon your return, whether you're back to sport or just back moving pain-free. Big love. It's an amazing day to be alive. I know that your knee pain is going to get sorted ASAP.